Hello, welcome back to Papa's House. I'm John Hayes. Today I'm going to pull my own family story poem off of my shelf and perform one of my favorite fairy tales that I wrote for my daughter Christina about 30 years ago. She really liked unicorns then, a lot. She probably still does. And so now I'm excited to perform The Prince and the Unicorn for you. Far, far away and long, long ago, and once upon a time, a unicorn was born in a dark forest of verse and rhyme. Shafts of sunlight pierced the forest's dark, misty gloom. Trees swayed as if dancing in an enchanted forest ballroom. And from the very day that the unicorn was magically born, her sweet spirit comforted all who were sad and forlorn. Her sacred golden horn possessed powers of the universe, but also in the forest, evil lurked, taking the form of the worst wicked witch who possessively plotted plans so perverse that she danced daily in her lair, chanting this evil curse. The unicorn will suffer, moan, and cry. My powers will grow, and she will die. I must possess the magic golden horn of this innocent and precious unicorn. I will cut it off, and I will grind it up, and its dust I will put in my mixing cup. I will mix its dust into my witch's brew and blend it so gently into a wormy goo. My powers will be greater than ever seen. I will rule with vengeance as an evil queen. The witch flew to a secret spot to set up her terrible trap. It was where the unicorn would most likely take her nap. It was once a secret place about which the witch was told by a greedy old weasel who was paid 30 pieces of gold. As was foretold, the unicorn came walking down the trail. Squirrels brushed her silver mane as robins braided her tail. The witch hid quite patiently until the timing was just right, then viciously sprung her trap and tied the unicorn up tight. Off to her cavernous lair the wicked witch magically flew. She began to prepare the unicorn for her nasty wormy brew. The birds and the squirrels knew exactly what they must do, and they picked the fastest eagle in the forest, and off he flew to beseech the good king to send a champion who might fight to save the life of the unicorn in the name of all that is right. The king chose his only son, a brave and pure warrior prince who whistled for his horse, and without fear, flinch, or wince, the prince stood in chainmail armor and raised up his sword, vowing to vanquish the witch in the name of the king and the Lord. He rode through glens and forests, following the mighty bird to the witch's cavernous lair, and then, without being heard, he tethered his horse and prayed that he might be bold and brave. As he descended down and down into the depths of the cave, evil cackling laughter could be heard, bouncing off the wall. Or perhaps it was the creaks of cracked beams about to fall. An eerie glow appeared from a dark shaft off to his right. Gasping in horror, our hero saw a most cruel, ghastly sight. Our dear unicorn was tied down in the dark dungeon lair. The witch had sharpened a dagger to kill our unicorn fair. She stroked the blade and up from the grindstone she rose. She placed her fingers upon the unicorn's quivering nose. "My precious," she prattled on, stroking the golden horn, "when I'm finished, you will wish you were never born." She grabbed the horn and slowly raised the deadly knife. She hissed like a slithering snake about to end the steed's life. When our prince bounded into the room, brandishing his sword, "Drop the knife, you evil witch, or die in the name of the Lord." The witch was startled. She turned, angry and ready to fight. She hurled her dagger like lightning with her magical might. The prince jumped in time and turned a somersault and lands next to a fiery hot cauldron that hung from 2 steel stands. He sheathed his sword, and with battle gloves on his hands, he lifted that boiling cauldron off of those hot steel stands and hurled it like a fiery meteor streaking through space. And it flew across the cave and hit the witch right in the face. An explosion as bright as the sun lit up the gloomy cave. The wicked witch had vanished. Our unicorn's life was saved. The prince freed the unicorn and led her out of the evil lair, stroking her mane, saying, "All safe, girl. There, there, there." The prince kissed the unicorn softly upon her velvety nose, and suddenly a cloud of silvery smoke billowed and arose. Startled, he boldly stood to fight whatever evil might attack. Sword drawn, the smoke was now billowing behind his back. "Steady, girl, fear not. I am prepared to fight to the death." "Mine or yours? I would be sad if you drew your last breath." The prince turned around, and the unicorn was no longer there. Instead stood a smiling, beautiful maiden with long golden hair. The mysterious smoke formed gowns of exquisite silver thread. The horn was now a golden tiara that she wore upon her head. The stunned prince dropped his sword and knelt before her feet. "Oh, goddess, I am humbled and honored that we might meet." "Noble knight, your kiss transforms me, and you saved my life." True love filled their hearts. The prince asked her to be his wife. Everyone danced and cheered, filling the kingdom with laughter. And the prince and the princess, Nee Unicorn, lived happily ever after. Well, I sure hope you enjoyed listening to The Prince and the Unicorn as much as I did writing it and performing it for you. Someday I hope to find just the right illustrator to paint the pictures that are in our heads when we hear or read this story, and then publish my story in a beautiful picture book. What do you think? Send me an email to my address below. That's all for now. See you next time. Be safe.